get to dustin'. Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new bay alert.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tease Tabor, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Second down, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And this one will be brought back to the 22. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. After the interception, here's Stafford. And a completion to Wilson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're going to...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Prater for the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Cousins. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A good pickup there of 22. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Cousins, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A huge play there, Cousins to his tight end Rudolph. 41 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins again. The left side caught by Diggs. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. To throw is Cousins. His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To the air again, it's Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, 22!
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's got room. Got some real estate inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And now out comes Minnesota. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Cousins on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
A first down throw for Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Omaha, remember. 22.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Buying time to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, Abdullah looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Go here. 21.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Forced out to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that in? And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once that we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Play action. Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And he stopped immediately there. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A second down run for Abdullah. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Cousins now from the 50. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 47, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Stafford on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
22. White. 11. Ready. Jumbo. Hey, 22.
To throw again. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Rhino.
Final play of the half. Cousins going deep for Diggs. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They go back to Abdullah on 1st. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Big 20.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Play faked Abdullah. It's Stafford. He sets to fire deep. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good. Jahan, take it. Wait, Jahan.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep for Diggs. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Right.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of you.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. And he knocks it through. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Minnesota. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Second down, Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
4 down, 4 down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Everyone's got 4 down. Behind! 180! 40's Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On first down, Murray. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Let's go.
Cousins now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Where's the hot?
They'll throw again. Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Through.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. From the red zone now, Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A second down throw for Cousins. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Hey, receiver.
Throwing, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Two.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Throwing is Cousins. Going with a screen for Murray. Finding room at the 30. And all the way up to the 35-yard line. 19 yards there on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Here we go. Hey, we're good.
To throw is Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Murray. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On 1st down, Abdullah. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. From the 50, Stafford. Pass for 20. Left side completion to Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the